and welcome to the 4th episode of Coach and Coffee. Make sure you have your coffee. Like I said last time, we're not here to drink alone.
Nope,
so
that'd be wrong.
Go get your coffee and pause the video and come back when you're done. Today, guest on the show.
Hello.
Co-owner and trainer at Fitness OCR, Luke Hayes.
How's it going?
We just did a 5K time trial on a track, which wasn't our best times, but hey, it was still fun.
Still
and then we
workout.
did tons of tire flips with a 430-ish pound tire.
So. And we flipped a 655-pound tire, but
it took both of us.
It was filled with water too, which everybody knows makes a big difference. So.
And it's only 500 pounds more than I weigh, so.
But it was a good workout.
Light stuff.
Yep.
So, with that, we're going to be talking about strength training today. For OCR, and then Luke's going to touch on some strength training for
high rocks
also, since that's kind of a hybrid between kind of CrossFit and OCR at this point. It's
that's
more of a CrossFit style, but
CrossFit
still,
without the power movements.
Yeah, except sled push is kind of power, but still not, whatever.
Yeah.
So for OCR, it requires a certain amount of strength. You need to have upper body strength to complete the obstacles at an average obstacle course race, Savage, Spartan race, terrain,
Savage
rugged.
Especially, you're going to need a lot of grip strength, which entails biceps, shoulders, your lats, overall back. Things like the monkey bars, twister, all that stuff requires a decent amount of upper body strength because you have to be able to carry your own weight. I weigh about like 185 pounds, so if I'm going to do those obstacles, I have to be able to move 185 pounds over however long an obstacle is functionally, and then be able to go right back into running.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge, is going from running right into some strength, back into running. And that's why a lot of pure runners struggle with OCR, because they're going, and really killing the course, and then they get to an obstacle and it messes them up.
Yep, if you don't have the strength needed to complete an obstacle, especially at an event like Savage where you have multiple attempts at the obstacle, and then if you eventually can't, you give up your band if you're in the pro wave, or you just move on if you need to if you're in the open wave, you can really burn yourself out and kill all the time you made up running faster than someone else retrying the obstacle. So good exercises for all OCRs,
very
Spartan,
basic,
Savage, all of those. Pull-ups.
Pull-ups is the best thing you can do for any of those obstacles, because most of them require the same muscle groups, like I said, back, shoulders, biceps. So if you're doing pull-ups or weighted pull-ups with, I have a chain and some weights I attach to it, or you use a weight vest.
Yep.
That's perfect for that. To another simple exercise is dips, because that hits the opposite muscle groups, chest, shoulders, triceps, and that's going to hit all upper body.
Yep. Chin-ups, just a variation of a pull-up, but it works your biceps and forearms a little bit more than a normal pull-up does. And a lot of people going through obstacles will do straight arm and just hang at full arm length, but a lot of people also do bent arm, which is what I tend to do because I find it much faster on some of them, unless you're going to swing on rings or something like that. And that takes a lot more forearm and bicep strength, so doing more types of chin-up work and things like that might be beneficial there.
Yep, and you can get functional doing like grip switches, kind of plyometric pull-ups where you release your hands and then grab again real quick, or find monkey bars at a park. We're trying to keep it simple here, so find monkey bars at a park and you can just go up and down like a kid.
Focusing a ton on chin-ups and pull-ups. I've heard lots of people talk about how they're not very good, and you should really do like more specific grip training things, but while you're doing pull-ups, you are working your grip strength. If you're able to do 5 pull-ups, it may take you 15 or 20 seconds, and during that time, you're also essentially doing a dead hang with your grip strength. So you're getting both with one thing, but you're also building that upper body strength, which is essential. If you don't have it, you can't complete the obstacles at Spartan. That means 30 burpees, which is just gonna wear you out and burn tons of time compared to just completing the obstacle.
No bueno.
No bueno. So pull-ups and chin-ups are 2 of your best exercises for building upper body strength for obstacle course racing in general. And then if you're doing Spartan, where you have things like Olympus, bucket carries, sandbag carries, tire flips, deadlifts or any type of tire lift, any type of deadlift movement is going to be
Walking lunges are
awesome.
great.
Yep. Any
Making
type
sure
of
you have a
loaded
strong
exercise
core.
like that. Yep.
But also the important thing, like I said, running, obstacle running. So you have to, it's good to go into some of these exercises with a pretty high heart rate. So maybe do some burpees before, or a running interval before, squat jumps, something like that to get your heart rate up. Then do the pull-ups or the deadlift or whatever, and then go back into that. So you're kind of mimicking what your body's going to go through, because that's the real challenging part. You drop something?
Oh, hold on. Oh, we're good. Yes. And then, like I said, grip strength obviously is important. You may have a super strong upper body, you like strong lats, strong chest, strong biceps, forearms, shoulders, whatever, but your grip strength just may not be that good.
Bodybuilders.
Yeah, the strongmen type who just don't do endurance
Seen it
for
a
their grip
million
strength.
times.
Yeah.
A bunch of big dudes come in, they get on the obstacle and they fall because they can't support
And
their
it's
own
even
weight.
harder because, yeah, they have a lot of muscle, which makes them a lot heavier, which means their grip has to be strong enough for that much more weight. So just work your grip strength a ton. We already went over some of the exercises for those. Just make sure it's adequate, as well as doing the upper body exercises.
Yep.
And then high rocks is a little bit different. It's less functional.
Functionable.
Less functionable and more
I wouldn't even
raw
call them.
strength.
They're not even obstacles. I don't think
No,
high
they're
rocks
workout
is an
stations.
obstacle course race. Just
Workout
workout
stations.
stations. So yeah, a lot more strength because you have the sled push, which is 400. The weight is 405 plus the sled. The sled drag is 285 plus the sled. Those are the real heavy ones. Walking lunges with 66 pounds.
It's a lot added
Farmer
weight for
carries with a
lunges.
total of 140. Those are the real heavy ones. Then you have the rower, the ski erg, wall ball with 20 pounds. That's high rep. That's more endurance. So you have a big combination. You have the running, which is 1 kilometer.
1,000 meters for you who can't do the math.
That's right. Real basic math there. So that's just pure running, and then you have the endurance exercises, burpee, broad jumps. That's going to keep your heart rate way up, and then you have the strength. So it's a full combination of a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, it's
So
definitely
what type of
interesting.
training have you been doing for that?
Kind of just mimicking that. I'll pick a heavier strength type exercise. Right now I don't have access to a sled with a rope.
Gosh
so
darn COVID.
So I've been doing weighted pull-ups. I told you I have my belt. Strap some weight on there, do some heavy pull-ups because that's working similar muscles, basically the same. And then I'll do some burpees, and then I'll do a sprint, and then go back through that for a couple of circuits. Something like that. Or I have a sandbag. I'll do some walking lunges with that. Burpees or squat jumps, back and do a run, and do a couple circuits like that. So you're basically mimicking strength, endurance, strength, and then endurance, speed. Whole bunch of stuff.
The strength required to perform very well at a high rocks event, because the weights are so much heavier, would be significantly greater than that of doing even like a Spartan sprint or something where it's short distance but the weights are relatively light. It's your body weight for a lot of the obstacles, and then like a 70-pound bucket is nothing compared to a 500-pound sled push,
Like
essentially.
450.
450.
The heaviest thing in Spartan would be the tire, which can definitely be heavy after, because they only have them at Beast, maybe Supers, but mostly Beast.
Pretty much all beast now.
And so you're burning your legs out for 13 miles, and then you finally get to this 300-some pound tire. So
no,
that
they're
is
420 or 430.
okay.
They're in the fours.
Yeah, so your legs are already fried, and then you're trying to flip this tire and get your hands under it, which is very
That's the
hard.
hardest part. It's not the weight. It's getting your hands, getting a grip under it.
But overall, if you want to do well at high rocks, you definitely need to focus more on strength. Something like weighted squats is going to help a lot for the sled push if you don't have a sled. Weighted step-ups, anything to hit like multi-joint leg exercises. I've been doing a lot of deadlifts.
Compound movement.
Deadlifts are great.
Yep. I do, in comparison to Luke's training, I do significantly lighter strength training because I'm doing longer courses that don't work as, and they're not heavy obstacles. I'm not pushing 400 and some pounds at a time.
Joel's focusing on the ultra races this year.
Which none of them have happened.
Nothing's happened.
I don't think.
Nothing's
No.
happened for
Well,
anybody.
there are a few races at the start of the year, but now. So
Yeah.
if they have the Ultra World Championship, I intend to compete at that. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm training for.
And
I just need to be functionally strong. I don't need maximal strength. So like right now, Luke weighs 30 pounds more than me
35
somehow.
or something, yeah. So I'm trying to get to about 195 pounds because I've researched a lot about high rocks and what the top athletes are doing and how they're performing, their workouts and everything, and all the knowledge I have from my certifications. And if you can be around 195 pounds at my height, low body fat, a good running base and everything, should be pretty good. Should be able to place pretty well. So I've got a little bit of weight to gain and some more strength to gain, but that's the goal. So I'm doing basically the opposite of what he's doing. I'm trying to pack on weight and muscle and everything, and he's more focusing on building up his endurance, which is just as hard, just in a different way.
Yep, different type of strength training. Strength endurance versus like more maximal strength.
Yes, but the reason for this is also, this is kind of a side topic, but this is what we enjoy. It more fits our personalities. I used to weigh, when I started OCR, about 160, 65 pounds, so a lot lighter. I did a lot less strength training and mostly just the running, and I just didn't really enjoy that much. It didn't fit with my personality, what I like to do with my workouts. I like to lift heavy weights, and I like the powerful aspect of that and heavy lifts and stuff, so it took me a while to figure that out, but I really enjoy the high rocks training a lot more. And the ultras fit Joel's personality more. He lives in the mountains, so he's climbing mountains for hours and hours.
Purposely moved here.
But that's what he enjoys. So again, this is kind of a side topic, but if you're new to OCR or sports or anything like that, these type of events, try a couple out and see what you like. Think about the type of exercises and stuff that you prefer doing, not because they're easier, but you prefer doing them.
Yeah, do the training you enjoy and match it to the types of competitions that are out there. Because if you're not going to enjoy it, you're not going to do well.
No, and
long term, you're not going to.
You're not going to.
You're just going to burn out. Yeah, you're
right.
not going to. It's not going to be fun.
Yep.
I like long, grueling things, and honestly, and this sounds kind of like arrogant, had to restart the camera. It cuts off after 10 minutes. It's a long video, but I just like doing events that most people can't. I like trying to be able to do things that most people can't do. So doing a 24-hour ultra event and doing really well at it sounds stupid and it sounds hard, but I just want to do it and see if I can do it better than most people can.
That's why a lot of people do OCR though, for the challenge.
That's right. So challenge yourself. Work on your strength training. Don't fail obstacles. Don't fail obstacles, and don't fail obstacles while you're at it.
Yeah, no matter who you are, you need strength training. So if you're not doing that right now, if you have more of a running background, try some strength training exercises. Start with some of the stuff we said. It's pretty basic, but it will definitely help a lot.
Lots of pull-ups, lots of chin-ups, those types of exercises for OCR. If you're going to be doing something that's a lot more weight intensive like high rocks, then start doing more deadlifts, more compound movements like heavy squats, sled pushes, weighted pull-ups, all that type of stuff.
Snatches.
Snatches, yeah, absolutely. And then just be consistent with it. Get stronger.
And enjoy your training.
Yeah. And then I think that's all we have for now. But strength cannot overemphasize how important strength training is for your performance, and then also
preventing injuries.
Injury prevention.
A lot of people end up with injuries because they skip strength training in general. I'm not going to name names, but I've seen a lot of the top athletes write in their posts about how some knee injury or whatever, or a failed obstacle happened because they were focusing so much on the running for like the world championship that they neglected the strength aspect.
And that is hard if you're self-coaching, because you're like, well, I know I need to improve my speed, so you start slacking on the strength training, which has happened, I think, to everyone, slacking on one thing or the other because you're so focused on the other. I've done that with strength training, where I'm so focused on running, I start slacking on the strength training. So it's very important to have someone, a third party, to look at your training and make sure you're doing enough of everything, because sometimes it's really hard to force yourself to do exactly what you need to do.
Yes.
You get carried away with one thing and forget about the rest.
And also DecaFit. I'm going to be doing DecaFit. Didn't talk much about it because I don't know what they're doing this year. They have one event, I don't know, coronavirus. But
Coronavirus.
DecaFit's very similar to High Rocks, but half the time. So lighter weight, much more high intensity. The top athletes in High Rocks are about an hour, and for DecaFit is about 30 minutes. So it's just a much more high intensity, lighter weight, faster pace. Yeah, that's all based off of their test run that they did with a bunch of top athletes. So we'll see how it turns out. Their first one is scheduled for July. We'll find out. But either way, I plan to do those as well as High Rocks.
Do your strength training. We'll see you next time on Coach and Coffee. And stay healthy, everyone.
Good day.